talk about the two appearances, exactly what the charges are as well.
Yeah, well, I can confirm that we have arrested two people. You would recall in our earlier statements we mentioned that we're going to investigate those postings made in social media by individuals where they claim to have casted more votes than one. Of course, we conducted investigations. In our first arrest, we arrested a 52-year-old journalist as well as a 57-year-old woman in the Mpumalanga province. We have taken them to court today on charges for contravening Section 88, 89 and 90 of the Electoral Act 73 of 1998. They have both been granted bail of 1,000 rand each, and they're expected to reappear again in court on the 28th of June this year.
Now, some people will ask why a journalist was arrested, because the argument there will be that he tried to test whether or not the IEC's processes were actually working in terms of stopping people from double voting.
Test can only be for his media house. You can't commit a crime and test. You cannot test something and in the process commit a crime and expect to get away with it. We would arrest anybody who is alleged to have committed a crime. It's a mandate. That's a mandate of the South African Police Service in terms of the Constitution. We have both a mandate and an obligation to ensure that people are and feel safe, that we investigate and combat crime, and that's our duty. That's what we have to do. And if people commit crimes, irrespective of who you are, where you come from, you have to do the time.
I agree with you 100%. Vish. So let's talk about the numbers, because this number has been changing now over the past couple of hours. How many people have been arrested and in connection with what?
Okay, you'll recall yesterday we issued a statement that we arrested 20 people for attempting to cast more votes than one. That figure has risen to 22. The Dan Auser group was initially 16, so we've added a 17 suspect there. And then in Izingolweni, in the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal, we arrested another suspect, which brought the total to KwaZulu-Natal to 21. Then, of course, the Douglasdale man that was arrested as well for using his son's identity document to vote, that brings the total to 22. So with the two arrests of the journalist and the woman in Mpumalanga, we have now arrested 24 people for the contravention of the Electoral Act 88, 89 and 90.
What are the consequences for them if they're found guilty?
Well, firstly, a person who's found guilty in terms of those sections of the Electoral Act face a jail sentence of not exceeding 5 years, or an alternative fine, or alternatively a fine, or perhaps even both. But it will depend on how seriously the courts view it. Remember, the postings and the attempts to cast a second vote are considered to be very serious. The fact that such sentences have been put to those kind of offences is indicative that these offences are considered to be very serious in nature, because it's a big process. There are a lot of logistics, manpower, time has all gone into this process, and we cannot allow for people to bring this process into disrepute. So I think when the law takes its course, the most severe penalty possible will be sought, especially from us as the investigative authority.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Vish Naidu, police spokesperson, talking about the number of people who have been arrested for attempting to double vote. But